Hello and welcome. It's that type of week, end of the week, and it's another Supernatural Sunday. And basically, it's episode 7. I think it's episode 7 of season 1. And the episode is called Hook Man. And yeah, I've just put this down. I've got notes. I'm no good with names and dates and yeah. You can see all my notes written down. Yeah, season 7, Hookman, and it was first aired in October 25th, 2005, and the episode was 40 minutes long. The infamous Hookman. Small town Iowa, the sorority of a Eastern Iowa University. There was two girls sharing a dorm room, and the one's getting ready for a date or a party, being escorted to a party, and she's wearing, I would call, proper attire, really dowdy, really covered up, buttoned up to the top, long sleeve, long skirt, dress, and the roommate said, "Is that what you're wearing?" She said, "Well, what do you think I should wear?" Anyway, the roommate goes into a drawer and pulls out this top and says, "Put that on with a pair of jeans or whatever, and your date will be absolutely amazed." So so anyway, she gets changed, and she said, "What do you think?" She says, "You look amazing. Don't do anything I wouldn't do." And she said, "Well, you would do everything, so I'm not going to be doing that." She said. Anyway, next minute you see this car driving into like a wooded area, Lovers Lane kind of place, under a bridge, and the guy turns off the engine, and they look at each other, and the girl gives the guy a kiss, and the guy wants to go more, and she's like, no, I'm not that type of girl. We need to head towards the party. Anyway, they hear a scratching noise outside, and the girl's getting scared, and the kid's like, "Oh, who's that? Trying to scratch my car." Anyway, and he gets out the car to have a look, and in the shadow there's a figure, and he looks like he's carrying a hook, type of deal, or the hook's on his hand or something like that, and you see like it's invisible, but you can all you see is like the car getting ripped, like scratched and ripped open by this hook thing, and the next minute you hear the girl scream, and she's locking all the doors, and all you can hear is scraping on the roof, and eventually the girl puts up the courage to open the door and looks up, and there's her boyfriend tied upside down with his hands scratching the roof. He's cut open, scratches, blood everywhere, and he's cut open. Obviously the hook man's got him, and but yeah, the police and that get there, and anyway, Sam and Dean are at a cafe looking for the whereabouts of the dad. They can't find him. Anyway, Dean's looking in newspapers and finds the new case of this killing, this thing. So they end up heading towards Iowa, and because they think follow the baddies, and the dad won't be far behind. So they go and interview the girl, and she's at church. Anyway, it turns out that she's the preacher's daughter, and he at the end of the sermon, Dean takes the preacher to one side and pretends to ask him questions about local church groups so Sam can interview the daughter. So the daughter tells them what happened, and they come to the conclusion. Well, they say, well, that's the legend, that's the Hookman legend, but you know, none of this. In the legend, there wasn't none of this invisible scraping of the, you know, and the cars and all this. So anyway, they go to the local university and you know, do their research. They come up with the legend of the Hookman, and what it was back in 1862. A preacher called Jacob Carnes killed 13 prostitutes in their beds for, you know, because he was sick of you know, the bad things going on in that place. And the preacher lost his hand in an accident, and they give him a silver hook as a hand, you know, to that's where the hook comes from. So yeah, he uses the hook to kill these prostitutes, and he's then sent to prison and killed in prison. His hook then is given to the church for because it belonged to the, you know, it belonged to the church. So they melted the church down and the hook down, and produced church relics like crosses and jewelry and candlesticks, and you know, what you normally have in a church, and a vestry, you know, that what decoration you would have. So anyway, the girl's going back to the dorm room, and the dad don't want her to go, and they're arguing with the dad. She's arguing with her dad, and she goes back to the dorm room, and the lights off, and she just sees a dorm roommate in bed. So she goes and gets changed, and don't turn the light on. She just goes into the bathroom, gets changed, and goes to bed, and wakes up the next day, and the dorm room, you know, her dorm companion is being killed in her bed, blood everywhere, and on the wall, scraped in the wall in the plaster is, "Aren't you glad you didn't turn the light on last night?" So yeah, it's the second one being killed with the Hookman. So Sam and Dean Sam goes to sit now. The sheriff is what happened is Sam and Dean visited where the first crime scene, and had a gun with rock salt in the you know, like 12-ball shotgun pellets, in case it was any spirits that, you know, you're shooting with rock salt to dissipate them. Anyway, they nearly shoot the sheriff, so they get arrested. The second murder happens, they get released, and all the sheriffs, as they're getting released from prison, that's when all the police are rushing out to this second murder. Anyway, the preacher of the town asks so take his daughter home, and the sheriff was like, no, because she's like, now this is the second murder she's been involved in. And he said, don't be stupid, you know where she lives, I'm the preacher of the town, I'm taking my daughter home. So anyway, so Sam goes and sits outside the preacher's house, and Dean goes to visit the local cemeteries, and it's an unmarked grave he's got to find of where this Hookman is buried. So because what they need to do is salt and burn the bones, and the spirit then goes to hell. Dean finds a unmarked grave, unburies it, and it's, yeah, sure enough, there's a skeleton wrapped up, but you know, you can tell he's only got one, you know, a hand missing. So he pours a load of salt on the bones and the lighter fluid and all that, and chucks in a Zippo lighter, chucks it in the grave, and he burns the bones. Anyway, meanwhile, Sam is back at the vicarage, the refectory. where the vicar lives, the pastor lives with the daughter, and the daughter comes out and goes, I've already called the cops on you. And he said, well, I'm just concerned, I'm sitting here just to look after you, to make sure you're all right. There's no need to be alarmed, go back inside. Anyway, they get to talking, and anyway, they end up kissing, and he pulls away. And anyway, the preacher comes out and calls in his daughter, because she doesn't want to get a bad reputation, and she's like shouting at her dad, saying, "Bad reputation, you're having an affair with a married woman." And anyway, all of a sudden, the hook man appears behind her dad, and basically uses a hook and pulls him back into the house and shuts the door. So Sam gets up with the shotgun, runs into the building, breaks the door down, runs upstairs, shoots to dissipate the hook man, and not before the dad gets seriously injured and ends up in hospital. Anyway, the sheriff is questioning Sam now, saying, "Why was you at the scene?" And he said he was just a concerned citizen, so he was making sure no one was at home. He was just sitting outside minding his own business when he saw the dad get pulled into the house by this dark figure carrying a knife or a hook or whatever you want to call it. And the girl corroborates his story. Anyway, Dean comes back. Sam and Dean go off, and he said, "Didn't you burn the bones?" He said, "I did, but it still happened. What's happening?" Anyway, in the picture, they decide that they've got to find this hook now and melt that. And they go back to the university, do some more research, and it's been melted down into these artifacts. So they break into the church and the vicar's house, find all the silver items, go to the church basement, and start to melt these, chucking the silver onto the fire. And anyway, the daughter there, the preacher, praying to God, blaming herself that she obviously got this, somehow was involved with this spirit, and because she was negative thought about her dad, that's why this spirit got his dad. And Sam was like, saying, "No, it's not your fault." Anyway, the spirit come of the hook man, and Dean said to Sam, Sam said to Dean, "Have you melted all the silver?" And she said, yeah. And I said, "Sam, they're running away from the hook man." And Sam said, "Is there anything else what belongs to the church which is silver?" And she said, "Well, my dad gave me this necklace." So Sam rips the necklace off the girl's neck, chucks it to Dean. Dean runs away, runs to the fire, and anyway, Sam is scraped with but not killed, but is injured by the hook man, and the church is getting wrecked. There's all like lines getting scratched into the wall, and things are breaking. And anyway, as soon as the necklace hits the flames, it starts to melt, and the hook man bursts into like embers and just basically kills him, and he's dragged down to hell where he belongs, and it's over. Again, police turn up. The daughter is talking to the police. Sam's talking to the police, saying, "This is what happened," and wasp or something like that. And the sheriff says to Sam and Dean, "Well, I want you all gone." He says, "Don't worry, we're leaving." So Sam and Dean get into the car and drive away, and that's it. Another episode over. Absolutely brilliant episode. It's getting really interesting now. Next episode I haven't even looked at. It'll be next Sunday. I ain't got time to watch anything. So yeah, next Saturday I'll be watching it and doing a review next Sunday. So if you like this sort of thing, please give me a thumbs up, and subscribe. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Tell your friends about me so they, like-minded people who like collecting films and movies and doing hauls and reviews. Yeah, things are absolutely amazing. It's I'm using this as a therapy. I'm loving it. It's taking my mind off my illnesses. Things are coming together. I may have to go into respite for a month because they're doing work in my bungalow, but like I say, I can carry on. I'll take my DVD with me and do the reviews from the respite. So yeah, when I'm in respite, that's probably what all you'll get is Supernatural, but we'll catch up. At least we'll catch up, and But yeah, thank you very much. Bye for now.